Today is April 27th, and it is also episode 27 of Project Hot Horse. This sequence of videos of me building this rat rod thing that I've been talking about. I've done some stuff that I haven't filmed. I guess I'll show you that, and then I'll get on with what I want to do today. So basically, the other day, I took the back, I jacked up the back of this and moved my bike. Jacked up the back of this and I put my mounts in. Now my mounts are actually hockey pucks. See, it's a hockey puck I didn't cut. And then these are double upped, but I realized after taping them together it was going to be too high, so I've just been using one, which is about an inch thick. Or maybe an inch and a quarter. I don't know. It looks like an inch. So yeah. So hockey pucks. I was going to get the bushing kit for a '88 Bronco 2, but they wanted $100, and obviously this is a whole bunch of willy-nilly bullshit that I'm trying to get away with. So why am I going to put $100 into rubber shit to put in between the body and the frame? So for 20 bucks, I got 12 hockey pucks. And it's working good so far. Not sure how the noise is going to be once I drive it, but we will see. So I got those two on there, and I also jacked up the front, and I got those on there as well. So right now the body is where it needs to be. Now if you notice when I was showing you the mounts in the back, the other day, I also welded in reinforcements, braces basically. Now what these are for is along this spray painted white line, roughly, is where I'm going to be cutting. This whole bed is going to be cut out. I'm dropping this body onto the chassis, like below the chassis, so the tires are going to come up in the wheel wells, so all that's going to have to get cut out, all in here. And then eventually I'm going to have to do the same thing with the floor. You can see where I painted the lines. It's actually this line, the most outer line is wrong. I kind of messed that up the other day, but you can see where I painted. And basically that's where I'm going to have to cut. And then when the body goes down, the frame's going to come up through the floor. And I'm going to have to make little mounts to come up over the frame rail. That's going to drop the body down. That's going to give it the look that I want. If you aren't sure of my design for this, I've done tons of photoshops of this thing, but there's one design that I really liked, and I'll probably show a picture. But that's how I wanted it from the get-go. That's how I picture this. Right now it sort of just looks like a Bronco 2 that somebody took the front end off, like it's too high and all, but for anybody who really knows them would know that the front end's extended out, so I gotta drop it. It's a necessity. It's what I want to do. I've done all this work. I'm not gonna build something that I'm not happy with, so that's what's gonna happen. Today I'm cutting the back of that floor out, and maybe I'll get to the front, but I'd have to weld in more braces. But the truth is, this thing caught on fire. This metal's already not the greatest. Stuff has warped. The back was cut off after the fact without bracing, so the body could still be warped there. I jacked the body up and took it off the old chassis without welding in reinforcements, so this body could be everywhere. But as far as I know, it's on mounts back here, it's on mounts up there, it's level with the chassis, so that makes me feel better about what I'm going to be doing. So this part I do want to try to do right, just like I did the chassis. Chassis was important, so I wanted to do that right too. But so yeah, so I'm going to roll this out. I might use the plasma cutter. It's been a while since I've used the plasma cutter. So I got to grind where I want to cut and then I'll get to cutting with that, see how that works. If not, I'll figure out a new plan. So here we go. Alright, so I spent basically the last hour preparing everything. Upon grinding where my paint lines were, I noticed that this whole piece was put in with spot welds. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to get that piece out of there, and then that way I have room to get the other pieces out. I was going to try to cut the whole thing, but I wouldn't be able to physically remove that from the bed. So I'm just going to cut this huge square out, and then I'll be able to actually like stand and sit on the chassis and get the rest of it out. So I'm going to get the plasma cutter and start cutting. I don't want to break that bit because, or that blade, because I'm going to need that for in there, so I'm just going to cut the rest of this with the die grinder. Oh, I broke the blade. Now I still have some pieces connected to like an inner wall of this bed, but so far it's wanting to come loose. Okay. Come on, bitch. Being held in that corner, maybe not. It's this corner. It's that corner right there. That corner right near the wheel well. That's the one giving me problems. What are you called on, you best? Yeah, it's clearly catching up at the bottom. There we go. There's a big ass pole. That should do it. What are you hung up on? That? You're hung up on that? Let me get the cutter. So this doesn't bite down on me like a clam. Let me shove this rake in here. loose. Whew. Well, that was a pain in the dick. On the next episode, I will be cutting out the wheel wells and maybe cutting that floor. I actually want to reinforce this floor before I do that. But basically, I need to make little pieces so this body drops down. I'm actually gonna have to make them wide enough for the leaf springs. But basically, it's gonna come up, go over, and then go down. Because I want to add like 8 inches or so, maybe 6. Because if I change these wheels and I go smaller, it's gonna drop it more. But I'm gonna need like 6 inches to come up. That way, the body sits down lower. Oh man. Yeah, so yeah, until next time.